Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of KH Reviews. On this channel, I like to talk through the pros and the cons of specific tech items in the hopes of helping you better decide on what you want to spend your money on. So in today's review, we're going to be putting two different pro headphones head to head to see which one is better for you. If you do enjoy watching tech reviews on YouTube, please consider subscribing to this channel because every single subscriber does help and I really appreciate it. And I do post a new video every Thursday. But without further ado, let's jump right into this review. So the three categories that I would like to cover in this review are going to be obviously the sound of both of these, and then we're going to talk about the durability or the usability of both of them, and then lastly, we're going to talk about the battery life. Alright, so let's jump right into sound. Both of these are pro headphones and both companies are great at making audio products. So you're not going to be disappointed with either of these. It just is going to depend on what you are looking for. If you're looking for an active noise cancellation, which is what the AirPod Pros do, they listen to the outside noise around you and then play an opposite or an opposing noise against that sound and cancel it out. Whereas the PowerBeats Pros do not do an active noise cancellation, but of just a passive noise canceling. In addition to the noise cancellation, the AirPod Pros do have a transparency mode, which allows the noise from the outside in so that you can also be aware of what's going on around you, whereas the PowerBeats Pros do not offer this. But at the end of the day, both of them do sound good, in my opinion. The AirPod Pros have a little bit more bass, if I'm going to be super picky, than the PowerBeats Pros do. But if you don't really listen to them side by side, you're not probably going to notice that lack of bass. So next we're going to talk about the usability when it comes to both of these headphones. Both are very easy to wear, both are pretty comfortable. I did notice that the AirPod Pros I could wear longer, whereas the PowerBeats Pros kind of wore on the inside of my ear a little bit and pushed. So I felt like I couldn't wear them for quite as long as I could the AirPod Pros, but both are pretty comfortable in my opinion. So really the biggest difference visually for these is the case size, and then once you open the case size, obviously the headphone size is very different. The PowerBeats Pros have a ear hook, is what they call it, that just fastens around the back side of your ear and is really going to keep that headphone in place. Whereas the AirPod Pros do not have anything holding it in other than the silicone tip. So depending on what you plan to use your headphones for, the case size could really determine which ones you get. If you're always going to be sticking these in your pocket, I would clearly say the AirPod Pros will be your better option. These will fit in a pocket, but they're going to take up a little bit more space. But maybe you're specifically getting these for the gym, then these are going to be no problem to slip in your gym bag. Overall durability though, I would have to give to the PowerBeats Pro because this case feels very industrial as opposed to the more flimsy and delicate AirPods Pros. This case is going to show a lot more scuffs, whereas this one is black and kind of a matte finish, and it won't show as many scratches or dings as the AirPods Pro will. So both of these headphones do have a water resistance rating of IPX4, which basically just means that any water from any direction splashing onto these is going to be okay. I would not submerge these in water, but they're going to have no issue if you sweat on them or walk through a light rain. Consistent with their cases, the Beats Pro do feel a lot more durable than the AirPods Pros do. And I feel like these would withstand a few more drops than these would. These would probably be a lot more likely to break, especially if you stepped on them. When it comes to the onboard controls, a lot of people were disappointed with the AirPod Pros that you didn't have a volume control on the headphone and you have to use Siri to initiate volume up or volume down. Whereas the PowerBeats Pro do have a volume up and a volume down toggle on both headsets. I'm still seeing a lot of people comment that they can't wear the AirPod Pros because they fall out. And Apple was hoping that the silicone tip would kind of fix this problem, but I think there's a lot of people's ears that just don't fit the AirPod Pros. So if the original AirPods kept falling out of your ears, these might not stay in as well. They do stay in just fine for me, but I feel like after a little while, if I'm running or doing any sort of exercise, they can start kind of twisting in my ear, so if I have it like this, it'll kind of end up a little bit over like this and become a little looser, and I'll have to just readjust it. Whereas the PowerBeats Pro are not gonna move at all. You can put them in and they're really not gonna fall out. So let's lastly talk about the battery life for both of these. Both of them offer 24 hours of battery life with their respective cases. But the PowerBeats Pros do offer 9 hours of battery life, which is really impressive compared to the 4.5 hours of battery life with the AirPod Pros. So if you're gonna be somebody that really wants to wear your headphones for a long period of time without having to even put them back in the charger, then really the PowerBeats Pro are probably better for you. All right, so in conclusion, which ones do you get? After all of that, it really is gonna come down to what you're planning on using these headphones for. If you're somebody that really wants to be in the gym a long period of time, and I mean a long period, 9 hours is a long time. Anyways, if you're gonna be in the gym for a long period of time and you want a pair of headphones that are not gonna fall out and they're not gonna get broken if you happen to drop them on the ground, then really the PowerBeats Pro are gonna be the better headphone for you in the long run. Now, if you're somebody that wants just a daily wear headphone that also can kind of double as a workout headphone, then the AirPod Pros are going to be better. The AirPod Pros do offer those few more mode options, so the transparency mode and the full noise cancellation mode, but they are $50 more. So the PowerBeats Pro are $200, whereas the AirPods Pro are $250 right now. So it's really going to come down to you and what your preference is. I personally would still go with the AirPod Pros. I just have never been disappointed with them, and after wearing them exclusively for a few weeks, I do still really love my AirPod Pros. All right, so I really hope this video helped you better decide on which headphone is best for you. But if you made it this far, I do want to give you a little bit of a fair warning. If you're leaning toward the AirPod Pros, I would maybe wait a couple months. The AirPod Pro 2s might possibly be coming out in April or later in this summer. So if you're patient and want to wait a little while longer for the brand new version, I would recommend doing that. So as always, I really do appreciate you guys watching, and I hope this review was helpful to you. If it was, consider liking this video or subscribing, and let me know in the comments down below what you think is the better headphone for you.